Hey everybody, Jason here with a retro review. What's up, guys? Judging by the headgear, you've probably figured out what movie I'm going to be talking about in this week's retro review. Of course, it's the original 1984 Karate Kid. Of course, I'm going to be talking some spoilers, but if you haven't seen a movie that's been around for almost 40 years by now, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm going to talk spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, and you're worried about spoilers, well, I'm going to get into them, maybe just a little bit. Karate Kid was one of those movies that shaped my childhood. There's maybe a handful that I watched over and over and over again, and I really enjoyed, and kind of helped me view the world in a certain way. And this was definitely one of them. I don't really want to list them by name just because I might talk about them in other retro reviews. Wink, wink. But with having watched Cobra Kai, I really wanted to go back and rewatch the original Karate Kid, especially, but then also 2 and 3, and maybe 4. There might be some reasons maybe to watch 4. But I did get a chance to rewatch the original recently, and, it still holds up after all this time. It had been a few years since I had watched it, so it was nice to actually sit back and step back into that world of the 80s again. I thought, even for then, it was one of those movies that even, because it's just so, there's so much about the movie that makes it so special. One of the biggest things about it that makes it special is, of course, Pat Morita, the late Pat Morita. He's definitely a big part of Cobra Kai, and, his presence is felt throughout that show, and he does carry quite a presence in this movie. This is the role that he's mainly known for. Maybe besides Arnold from Happy Days. But, he definitely carries a certain gravity and a certain weight. And there are just some scenes where he's both absolutely hilarious and then also being very stern and very serious and very matter of fact. And I like that. And there are moments where, there are a few moments of vulnerability where you kind of get a peek behind the curtain. He tries really hard to keep things close to the chest, but as he gets closer to Daniel, he starts to let his guard down, and things kind of start to bubble up to the surface. And it's just a very well constructed performance, and that's why Pat Morita was the way that he the man that he was. He's just such a professional. Even after having watched 5 seasons of Cobra Kai, this movie, it's always a joy to me to come back to this movie. Ralph Macchio, he was pretty big at the time, and I think William Zabka, this is one of his first major movies. So, just seeing, again, having seen Cobra Kai and then coming back and seeing those guys so young again, was pretty wild. It was pretty cool. It's one of those feel-good movies that I just watch over and over and over again. And it's spawned what impact it's had on pop culture, and then moving forward, since now we have the continuation through Cobra Kai. It was a class. It's just a classic. It's just a classic, and I could talk about how much I love Karate Kid for hours, but I won't put you through that. So what I will say is, it's definitely one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. Let me know what you think of Karate Kid down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell to get updates on all my future videos. If you want to chat with me on Twitter, you can follow me at JSumner. I'd love to chat with you there about movies and TV and stuff. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you on the next retro review. Bye.